Hi everybody, welcome to the Scott Show, and this is the first show of the 435. I wanted to give a shout out to everybody who's listening. This is a great deal that we're doing here. 435 is the number of representatives that are in the House of Representatives in Congress for the United States. So 435, and that's really awesome. That's what we're calling this. So that's what we're doing here today. And we're really super excited, folks. We're having a great time putting together these podcasts and making things happen. So, I wanted to get on here a little bit, talk a little bit about what kind of what we're going to do with this politics podcast, and that's the way we're going to rock it. So, 2018 is a very important year. It's our midterms. Now, we have some elections coming up in 2017. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about some local stuff coming up, but 2018. I wanted to highlight the U.S. Senate races. Now, U.S. Senate is 100 people. It's 2 people from each state. So if there becomes a 51st state, there gets to be 102 senators. That's how they do it. That's how they elect. It is an odd number. It is an even number. I'm sorry. It's an even number that gets elected each year. That gets put in there as there is 100. If there is a tie, if it's 50-50, the tie gets broken by the Vice President of the United States, who is also the President of the Senate. So, not a lot of people knew that. They've had to use that a few times this year. But 50 is the magic number when it comes to that. So, there are going to be, I think, 33 or 34 seats up coming up here. Mostly Democrats, since 6 years ago. Democrats won handily. I'll go through the states of people of the incumbents that are up, and then by the time I'm done with that, it'll probably be time to end the show. If I do mess up on names, I'm sorry, and there you go. And we also do have a little thing to say whether it's a toss-up or what the races are looking like, and we do have there's even a whole bunch of lists of candidates, and we'll get into that sometime soon here on the show. Probably not on this show. This is more of a, hey, welcome to 435 kind of deal. So that's what we're doing. We'll always be talking politics on this channel. It's going to be my new favorite channel here next to the 102550 show, which we got so much stuff going on there. It's just crazy. All right, so folks, here are the states and incumbents that are up for the Senate in 2018. First of all, in Arizona, we have Republican Jeff Flake, who is up. You might recognize that name. He was one of those that was involved. He was there when that shooting occurred in Virginia. He was not shot, but he was hiding, and he was on the news after that talking about what happened. And, cool guy. I'm going to say that about Democrats and Republicans. But Jeff Flake, just for who he is and the fact that he cared so much about his friends, it's still a cool guy. So I'm going to give him a shout out to Senator Flake. And people are saying it could be anywhere from a lean to a toss up on that one. There's a lot of candidates out there, not as many as in California with Dianne Feinstein running, as she's a Democrat, and she will be running again. Folks, she's been in there a long time, so just a heads up. But it's looking good for her, as it's looking good for Connecticut's Chris Murphy, who's a Democrat. Tom Carper from Delaware is also going to be running. It looks pretty safe for him. Bill Nelson from Florida, who is a Democrat, and is leaning him. We'll see how that goes. Hawaii is very safe for Mazi Haikono. I probably totally screwed up that name. Probably one of the only ones I'll screw up, and I'll try to figure out how to say it anyway. Indiana, Joe Conley. It's a toss-up there in Indiana. It's quite a toss-up. In Maine, you have Angus King, who is an independent, one of the only 2 independents in the race, in the Congress right now. And the other one is actually Bernie Sanders. Go figure. In Maryland, you have Ben Cardin, who looks like he's quite safe in Maryland. Massachusetts, you have Elizabeth Warren, who is a Republican favorite. In Michigan, you have Debbie Stabenow, who is looking really good when it comes to that. Minnesota, you have Amy Klobuchar. Of course, I'm in Minnesota, so I do have a little bit more insight on that race than any of it. And her opponent just does not have name recognition. You want to know how to win a race? Name recognition. That's what it's all about, folks. Roger Wicker in Mississippi, and it's looking safe Republican there for Mr. Wicker. I'm sorry, Senator Wicker. I apologize on that one. Claire McCaskill in Missouri. It's a toss-up for her, but we'll see how it goes there. In Montana, John Tester will be running as he's a Democrat. Tilting likely him in Montana. He's a popular guy. People like him. In Nebraska, Deb Fischer is there. It's safe for her. But in Nevada, probably the race that everybody's going to be looking at as far as Democrats taking a seat would be Dean Heller. He's been in the news quite a bit, fighting the president. And it's a toss-up in Nevada. So we'll see. We'll be covering that quite a bit. And in fact, I will probably be podcasting on Election Day from right here, talking about the results as they come in. And hopefully I'll have a guest. We could talk politics. All right, New Jersey, we have Bob Menendez, who it's likely to save for him. New Mexico, Martin Hendrich. It's looking good. New Mexico is definitely, he's a popular dude there. New York is Kristen Gillibrand, and she took over for Hillary Clinton when she dropped out and to become Secretary of State. In North Dakota, Heidi Heitkamp is the senator there. It's leaning her way. It's probably the strongest Republican area in the entire race that has, and West Virginia too. But Heidi she's a good senator. I can't give her enough credit. So it's a toss-up. We're leaning her direction. We'll see how that goes. That'll be another one that I'll be paying close attention to. Gerard Brown in Ohio is up, leaning Gerard's way, in the senator's way. Bob Casey Jr., senator from Pennsylvania, likely to leaning his way. Shelton Whitehouse from Rhode Island, safe, like in baseball kind of safe. And then we have Bob Corker in Tennessee, and you quite heard that name. He's talking to Trump quite a bit, and he's also working with Trump. He's against a few of his policies, and he's trying, so we'll see how that goes. Ted Cruz is actually up in Texas, and that's safe to likely. I know that the internet has not been very kind to Senator Cruz, so we'll just have to see what's happening there. I have no further comment on that except that he will be up for election in 2018. Orrin Hatch is up in Utah. Orrin has been in there a really long time, I'm not going to lie. He's the second oldest senator in there as far as how long they've been in there. I don't know who's first. I will look that up and have that info next time. He's safe. However, I did hear a rumor that if he does not run, that Mitt Romney would run for that seat. That's a rumor that I heard coming from Utah. Vermont, Bernie Sanders is up, and he looks like he's pretty safe there. And we'll see what happens. I mean, Bernie has a lot of fans in the state of Vermont, and there you go. Virginia, and Tim Kaine, former vice presidential candidate, he's up in Virginia. Washington, Maria Cantwell is up and looking good. Joe Manchin is up in West Virginia, and he's a toss-up to leaning him. I like him, so I would want to keep him. He's pretty awesome. Tammy Baldwin in Wisconsin, and I know Wisconsin rather well too. There are a few candidates running against her. It's quite a... there's 3 Republicans. Not anybody who I recognize, though, so I'm surprised they're not throwing out bigger names. It's just an interesting thing, and it looks like Bernie even has a few opponents too on the Democratic side. And then, last but not least, Wyoming. John Barrasso will be running for office again, and it looks like he's safe. The numbers from Wyoming are huge, 25 plus for Republicans. So if you guys are wondering who is running for office, please let me know in the comments below. If you're on YouTube listening to this thing, that would be awesome to hear it and to talk about it, what we're doing. And I want to have fun with this, and I want you guys to ask questions and get involved and get excited about politics. That's what we do here on the Scott Show with the 435. And 102550 is the main project. That's what we're doing, is we're wanting to end homelessness and poverty all across this country. It is imperative that people are not sleeping on the streets. That's important to me, more important than anything else. We don't want people sleeping on the streets. So I have created these 6 channels for Speaker.com, which Speaker.com gives us a little bit of cash back every time we podcast. And for every hit and view that people do, we get some money back to end homelessness and poverty with 102550. So I thank you guys for listening. This is super important to me, super important for us. I'm really excited about what we can do with the Scott Show and the 435 Politics Show. I'm going to be doing a lot of these. 435 Politics Show is, like I said, my new favorite. We just launched it. This is the first show, but lots of podcasts. Somebody said if I get strep throat, I'm done. But I'm not going to worry about that yet. I am feeling great. Just getting over that cold, but I ran a little bit today, so I'm feeling good, folks. And hopefully you are too. Hopefully everything is good with you and all of your families. So we are thankful that we are still walking, breathing, and having a great time here on the Scott Show, the 435, with 102550. And, folks, I'm just excited. And I always say I'm excited, but I am, because this is one of the things I absolutely love doing. We will be having some guests here on our show. We'll be doing local stuff with our star cities. So we have 10 of those, plus we will be talking about Duluth, Minnesota, and local politics. And folks, it's all in the name of fun. We're going to get our numbers up. We're going to have a great time. We are at 5,000 hits, folks, which is super exciting. I'm just pumped up as all get out that we can do these podcasts and have fun. So we will check you guys later. Have a great day. Enjoy the 435 Politics Podcast, and we'll be back with our college game day on the Sports Network. Check us out and have a great day.